Hello and welcome to this episode of Workshop Diaries. In this episode, I'm going to make stitch markers ready for sale in my online shop. I'm only making them ready for the shop. They have actually been made for some time ago and been lying in my pipeline of things I needed to make ready for the shop and all the last things. Here I'm making the labels for the stitch marker sets. I assembly the stitch markers in sets of 5, putting those stitch markers together that I think are quite cute together. And they all get this label. The stitch markers I am making ready here, I'm also making ready for a few markets that I'm going to in this fall. I have this small shop, RúnjaCrafts. It's an online shop. I have a homepage and I go to small markets nearby where I sell all the stuff that I make. Everything in the shop are handmade by me because I love crafting. I love yarn, everything with yarn actually. And I feel that all the bits and pieces, all the little accessories for my hobby with yarn, they are they're making it a bit special. If they are handmade and unique and beautiful, I feel that my yarn project also is a bit unique and beautiful. So it adds just that special little thing. I'm making 2 batches here because I have the markets. It's one of the things that I sell a lot of in my markets. So I just needed to fill up my inventory with stitch markers before I go to the markets. It is fall now. All the greens are not that green anymore, but all the colors, yellow, red, purple, so beautiful out there. And in Denmark it rains a lot when it's fall, so it's nice weather. It's a season to stay indoor, have a cup of coffee or hot delicious tea, and knit or crochet. So it's also the time of year where I'm a bit busy in my small shop. I have 5 stitch markers in each set, and I put a label on each set as well. Some of the stitch markers are closed rings, just to put on your needle. Others are with rings that can be opened, so you can put them in stitches and count rounds or rows. Always fancied those small charms and pearls. It's like a little jewel to put on your yarn project. I love it. So this was the big labels that I needed to put on. So back in the box for just a while I do the other batch. I hope all is well with your yarn projects. No lost stitches or any yarn that tangles. And here you see them. Because I'm going to use these stitch markers at the market, I'm going to price them as well with a barcode on them. I'm using a barcode system to make sure I know exactly what goods I have in my small shop, so I don't sell the same thing twice. I have a POS system. I use Shopify because I use Shopify for my homepage. And I actually like using the barcode system for Shopify. I think it works very well, and it upgrades my inventory in my online shop immediately. And here I have the small price marks I'm going to put on each set. So I have the price on one bit and the barcode on the other. And then there's just this sticky bit, and I can put them together and they just close around the ring. It's quite easy. And in Shopify, there's a label maker, so it's just printing the barcode. It generates the barcodes itself, so it recognizes it, and it's all automatic that the barcode is connected with the item. I need to cut them a bit because I need to make them fit the price marks. So quite tiny bits and pieces, but that's okay. I make the stitch markers myself, or make and make. I sometimes I buy the charms. The charms are made up for me, and I connect them with the ring. And the pearls, I make a ring on them so they can go on to the final ring. I'll show it in another video. I use the experience I have from the time where I was working in the jewelry business. It's quite the same thing. I actually had a few years working in jewelry, so same techniques. I actually love being at markets because you can talk to your customers in another way than you can online. It's necessary to be online, and it's easier to be online. It's not that much work taking everything to another place, putting it up, standing there all day and taking it down. Your homepage can be live for you at any time, day and night. But I love being at markets because I can speak to the people who are buying my goods, and that's nice. I like to speak to the people who buy my stuff. You could say that I could just make a storefront, but I'm not sure I could make enough money to make a storefront. Would be lovely. I would love it. But that's not where I'm at right now. At this point, I need to have a full-time job on the site. Besides this, I'm a school teacher. That's what pays the rent right now. So this is on the side. Do this in my spare time, and I love it. I love crafting. Of course, I love knitting and crocheting myself, but I also love doing many other things. I like making stitch markers. It's, as I've said, using my skills from the past in the jewelry business before I became a teacher, and I like sewing. It's a learning curve with sewing. I haven't done that so much as much of the other things. So that's a learning curve. And I love learning new things. And I make buttons. I make buttons of resin. I love that. And I make buttons of clay. And that's a beautiful craft as well. And of course, the yarn. I just love dyeing the yarn. If you go to my channel, you'll see a couple of videos of working with the yarn, dyeing it, making it ready for the shop. So this small shop gives me the opportunity to craft lots of different crafts, all evolving around the yarny universe. It makes sense to me. I think some of the things I enjoy about crafting is the slow pace. In my other job as a school teacher, there's not a slow pace. Actually, it's the opposite. So I unwind, I relax in crafting in a slow pace. And I hope you can sense the slow pace in this video. And I hope it helps you to relax as well. Perhaps you're crafting with me, or perhaps you're just sitting and enjoy watching me craft. Perhaps you are unwinding at the slow pace. I hope so. I think it's important to slow down sometimes. We don't have to hurry all the time. I don't think it's healthy. It's stressful. And that's one of the reasons I'm making these videos, is I hope you can unwind with me. I actually had a nice long talk with my sister about our childhood and where the need for crafting came from. And we talked a lot about all the different crafts that our mother introduced to us, and she herself did as we grew up. We saw her craft all the time. She's a very, very skilled knitter, and she crochets and makes lots of things. And sometimes she brought us along, or we had the pleasure of seeing her crafting. As a small child, I do remember her sewing quite a lot as well. Lots of our clothes, dresses and stuff she made for us. She sewn it or she knitted it. So lots of our clothes were homemade as a child. But she also did other things, and I remember that we did it with her, painting on porcelain, I remember. I was never good at that, but I did it. My mother was quite skilled. Yeah, my sister remembered that she'd made shrunken apple heads for dolls with my mom. I didn't go with them, but I do remember the dolls they made. They were quite cute, actually. So no doubt about it, lots of our crafting came from her, but also from our father. He was good with his hands and music. He introduced us to lots of music. He played guitar and lots of other instruments, and I remember us singing a lot together with our mom, actually. And now it's time to put stuff away because I need to make product photos. to be able to make a nice listing on my homepage, I need photos of everything. I always use this paper as my background to make it cohesive. And then I have some props I put into the photo to make it more homey and look good. And here it's some artificial flowers I have used them in more than one product photo actually. And then I arrange my stitch markers so they lie nicely on the craft paper. And then I just use my phone to take the pictures. And of course I edit them afterwards. Thank you for watching.